Hey babies, welcome back to another Deck Tech and Modern League video, and today we're playing Goblins. The deck list we're playing with is on screen now and in the description below. This deck's a ton of fun to play because it has a combo that can win as early as turn 3, but you can also adjust your game plan and play more of a toolboxy grindy game if you need to. As a quick explanation of the combo, the first thing we have to play is a conspicuous snoop without summoning sickness. It says we play with the top card of our library revealed, and if the top card of our library is a goblin card, it has the activated abilities of that card. The second card we play is Boggart Harbinger, which says when it enters the battlefield we may search our library for a goblin, reveal it, and put it on top of our library. We search for Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker, giving Conspicuous Snoop the ability to make infinite copies of itself with haste, and then after we have enough copies of Snoop, we make another copy of Harbinger and put either Mog Fanatic or Sling Gang Lieutenant on top of our deck and sacrifice all the tokens for damage. Starting off our deck tech, we have 4 copies of Aether Vial, which is the only non-creature spell in our deck, and helps us gain tempo and power out creatures faster than we'd normally be able to. In our 1 mana slot, we have 3 copies of Mog Fanatic, which we can use to either interact with our opponent, maybe kill a Ragavan, and we can also use it as a finisher as part of the combo. And we have 1 copy of Skirk Prospector, which we can use to create a bit of mana out of our creatures. In our 2-drop slot, we have 4 copies of Conspicuous Snoop, which contributes to the combo and also has a pseudo-future side effect for goblin cards, giving us a little bit of card advantage. We have 4 copies of Munitions Expert as a way to interact with creatures and planeswalkers. And we have 3 copies of Mog War Marshal, which is a really nice chump blocker, helps us populate the board a little bit for Munitions Expert and other things that care about the number of goblins we have. And it also works as a ritual with Skirk Prospector. We have 4 copies of Boggart Harbinger, which contributes to the combo but can also help us search for either other pieces of the combo or just toolbox effects if we need it. And we have 4 copies of Goblin Matron, which tutors for any goblin card in our deck when it enters the battlefield. We have 1 copy of Goblin Chieftain, which is a Goblin Lord and also gives all of our goblins haste. And we have 1 copy of Pashlik Mons, which says whenever a goblin we control dies, we deal 1 damage to any target, and it also has an ability where we can sacrifice a goblin to make 2 more goblins. At the top of the curve, we have 3 copies of Goblin Ringleader, which has haste, and it says whenever it comes into play, we reveal the top 4 cards of our library and put all goblin cards revealed that way into our hand, being really good card advantage. We have 2 copies of Sling Gang Lieutenant, which, on top of being a good finisher for our combo, also enters the battlefield and makes a couple tokens, being a good way to stabilize, and possibly just kill our opponent outright if we have enough goblins in play already. And we have 2 copies of Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker, which is also part of the combo, but we can use it in grindy games to copy our goblins and get extra easy bees. Getting into our mana base, we have 4 copies of Cavern of Souls and 4 copies of Secluded Courtyard. Both these cards are pretty similar, but Cavern of Souls is much better because it protects us from counterspell interaction. We have 4 copies of Anti-Solval, 4 copies of Bloodstained Mire, and 2 Blood Crypts. 1 Den of the Bugbear and 1 Soken'Zan Crucible of Defiance as lands that can generate a couple creatures for us. And 3 basic mountains and 1 basic swamp. In our sideboard, we have 4 copies of Chalice of the Void for Cascade decks and decks filled with 1-drops, 2 copies of Thoughtseize for combo and control decks, and 1 copy of Tarfire if we need some extra removal that we can tutor for with Goblin Matrons, 2 copies of Magus of the Moon for land-based strategies like Amulet and Tron, 1 copy of Necromentia for combo decks, 4 copies of Leyline of the Void as some graveyard hate, and 1 copy of Goblin Trashmaster as a lord that we can also use to blow up a bunch of artifacts. And that's the deck tech. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments, and if there's something you'd like to see in the future, let me know. Let's get into the games. Alright, round 1 with Goblins, we won the die roll, so we will take the play. We have 2 lands, Aether Vial, some boys, let's keep it. Let's see. We don't have combo pieces yet, but... or at least not all of them. We have the Harbinger. And we have a decent amount of ways to either stall for time or just get some extra cards. So I think this should be a pretty good hand for us. Of course, that depends on what our opponent's doing. So they play Sacred Foundry? Burn, perhaps? Tap for red, Monastery Swiftspear certainly looks like it. Unfortunately, I don't think Mog Fanatic is able to kill anything by itself in this matchup, but I think we should be able to race them pretty effectively. Okay. Yes. Goblin Chieftain, okay. So we need to either draw a 2-drop or a land so we can do something. Because we're stuck relatively high on the mana curve in our hand now. Opponent attacks. Yep. Okay. We take 1 down to 18. What would we side in against burn? Probably just chalices, I would guess. Opponent suspends Riftbolt and Lava Spikes us during the second main phase. Love to see it. Let's file in Mog Fanatic. Would love to draw Munitions Expert here, or a land. Snoop would also be kind of nice if it actually survives somehow. Mog Fanatic. That means we could kill Swift Spear. And I think I might just do that, because that doesn't seem that bad. Since we're mostly concerned about them just killing us very quickly. Let's go ahead and get Swift Spear out of play. We need to stall at least until we get Sling Gang Lieutenant into play, because I think the life gain would give us enough padding that it doesn't matter anymore. But it plays a land and passes. We're at 12 currently. File goes up to 3. Okay. Pashlik Mons into hand. Okay. Let's pass. We have a few options for what we can violin. Opponent Boros charms us. They have 3 cards in hand. If they have Triple Bolt, we're dead. Play a mountain. They suspend a Rift Bolt, so that is not a bolt at least in the now sense. Alright, what do I want? The thing about Boggart Harbinger is that means I'm definitely not drawing a land, so I'm not going to be double playing anything next turn, so I don't think I want that. I think I would rather go with just Goblin Chieftain, most likely. Maybe Pashlik Mons. Let's see. Yes. Let's just put Chieftain into play. Okay. Okay. Yes. Auntie's Hovel. Okay. Sweet. Depending on what they have, we might just have lethal for them now. Let's play Pashlik Mons. So there's 17. Depending on how much interaction they have, because this is a lot of damage now. Looks like they do have removal for the Sling Gang. They skull. Oh, they don't. They skull crack us. Okay. Do they not have removal for Sling Gang Lieutenant? Because we're attacking for 11. And then we can do 2 between Pashlik Mons and Sling Gang Lieutenant with all these sacks. So that should just be lethal. Sack a boy, trigger. Sack a boy, trigger. Let's let these resolve. Yeah, looks like that's game. Sweet. Kind of came out of nowhere with that one. Sack a boy, trigger. Okay. Well, good for us. Alright, I think chalices are the way to go. Just turn off all of their bolts. We can take out... Let's take out 2 of the Mog Fanatics. Bring in all the chalices. Take out the... Since we're going to be putting chalice on 1, let's just get rid of all the 1-drops. I think everything else is fine. Mog War Marshal is pretty good because it can chump block. Conspicuous Snoop, of course, is an important combo piece. Munitions Expert can kill things. I don't think we really want to get rid of any of those. There's maybe an argument for cutting one of the Kiki Jikis for a Tarfire? Maybe. It is a bit more defensive, but if we draw a Kiki Jiki and we only have 1 in our deck, that kind of just turns the combo off, at least that way. So I don't usually like siding out Kiki in my experience with this deck. I mean, we have Vial, we have some chump blocks, and we have a Snoop. Might as well keep it, I think. I would love to draw a Chalice to play on turn 2. And I think I'm just going to start with Bloodstained Mire Go. Well, no, I need to play Aether Vial. What am I on about? So Cavern of Souls Aether Vial is my turn 1. They play DRC. Interesting. Maybe they're playing more of a... God damn it. Oh my god, I'm so used to playing humans. Alright, well, at least I have a Goblin one, too. The DRC tricked me. Damn it. Maybe that's why they're playing the DRC. Alright. Opponent did not want the Bolt on top of their deck. That's a little weird. Maybe they're looking for lands? That kind of... That's moderately annoying. It stops me from playing Snoop on turn 2, but I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that anyway, so it's kind of fine. Because Mug War Marshal is just a much better blocker. I'd rather Violin Snoop. Hopefully when they don't have any mana. That was pretty dumb of me, though. Alright, we go down to 13. They have 3 cards in hand. They didn't want the land on top of their deck either, so I think they're just, like, milling like crazy. Roll up. Alright, try again. Name Goblin this time, please. Okay. Fantastic. Play Mog War Marshal. And pass. Alright, so we have blockers. We're at 13, so we shouldn't be able to die this turn at the very least. We've been drawing more lands than we want to, for sure. So that's a little unfortunate. I'm probably just going to go Tapped Blood Crypt Go. Assuming that I don't draw anything that I need 3 mana to play next turn. Opponent found a Searing Blaze. It's a little unfortunate that I played a creature out before that. They have 2 cards in hand. They still don't have Delirium. Do they attack? No. Okay. Yes. Okay. No. Okay. Boggart Harbinger. Okay, so now we have the Snoop combo. Interesting. Do I play Harbinger now? Probably not. Let's just play Tapped Blood Crypt Go. Hopefully I'm not dead here. It's a bit sketchier since I'm at 10 now. If they surveil a creature, they'd be able to attack me for 3 with DRC. They fetch 2 cards in their hand. They draw a card with Sunbaked Canyon. Alright, so now if they have Double Bolt, they're only dealing 9 to me, and that's fine. They play DRC. They have 2 cards in hand. If they somehow don't have removal for Snoop, that would be amazing. I guess I gotta go for it, right? No reason not to at this point. Play Snoop. Okay. Okay. Yes. Chalice on top. So now I'm in a spot where if they tap down their last mana, I could put Harbinger into play and start going off. But if I let them untap, they're more likely to have removal for Snoop. Let's fetch here. Mountain on top. Aetherfile on top, so not very exciting. Well, they didn't have the kill for me last turn, so I think I kind of want to wait it out and see if I can kill them in response to the bolt-on Conspicuous Snoop. Because that would be really hot. They play Bloodstained Mire. They play Skewer the Critics. Surveil, Surveil. Oh, and they played a fetch land as their land for turn. So if they don't get Delirium here... Ah, shit, they got Delirium. Okay. That's annoying. I guess I gotta just trust that they... I guess I just gotta trust that they didn't draw a 1-mana removal spell for Snoop here. So no bolt, please. Please, please. Kiki Jiki on top. Did they let me do it? Alright, they're letting me do it. Are they going to make me play it out is the question. So what we do here, Conspicuous Snoop is not legendary, so... Oh, we got it, sweet. So, as a bit of a refresher, Conspicuous Snoop gets Kiki Jiki's ability. Kiki Jiki does not say other than itself, it says non-legendary, so Snoop can target itself, make infinite copies of Snoop, one of them will remain untapped. Then you use the Kiki Jiki ability on Snoop to make a copy of Boggart Harbinger, search your library for a thing that says sack deal damage, and then that's on top. All of your Snoops have that ability, and you win the game. Alright, see you in the next match. Alright, round 2 with Goblins. We won the die roll again. That's a lot of lands and not much to do early game, so let's mulligan this one. Alright, we have a reasonable amount of lands. We have a Snoop, which is one of our key combo pieces that could possibly let us win on turn 3. And we have some stuff for a longer game if it goes to that. So I think this is a reasonable hand to keep. And I think we get rid of... I think it could go either way, but since we already have Chieftain, I think Slingang is a little bit better than Ringleader here. So let's get rid of that. Let's just go Bloodstained Mire, pass. I do want to shuffle that Ringleader back into my deck at least, because those cards are very good. At least when you're lucky with them. There's a lot of, I've had a lot of variance with how good Goblin Ringleader is. Usually it's very good. I had somebody scoop actually to me playing one and revealing 2 other Ringleaders and a Matron. That was very funny. Ragavan. Okay. Let's see what we get here. So it looks like we're playing against Blue-Red Murktide. They bobble us. We draw Mog Fanatic. Fantastic. I would actually rather play that than Snoop here. And pass. Because we have the Goblin Chieftain, we don't actually have to play out Conspicuous Snoop before we have the combo, because Chieftain can give it haste. Alright, let's block. What's our opponent doing? Okay. Cool, cool. We untap. We draw Goblin Matron. So they're representing Counterspell here. Might as well just play Matron out, I think. They counter it, that's fine. Okay. Let's see what our opponent does on their turn. Expressive Iteration, okay. And Spirebluff Canal, okay. Do you play a creature, or do you hold up a bolt or possible spell snare? They pass, okay. Let's play Chieftain. I think I'd still rather play that out than Snoop here. I'd be more tempted for Snoop if I had another couple mana to hold up. But if I had 4 mana, I'd just be playing one of these anyway. Probably Ringleader here. Alright, they Unholy Heat Chieftain, that's fine. 5 cards in hand. So they have plenty of action, I'm sure. Does our opponent have a Murktide this turn? They play Consider. They play a land. Looks like Murktide. Okay, so we're going to be on a clock, because our opponent has a 7/7. They play Mishra's Bauble. They bobble us in our upkeep. That's fine. We draw a mountain. Suppose I might as well go for Ringleader here, get some more cards in my hand. Wow, alright. The old 4-hit Goblin Ringleader. Sweet. That was a pretty good one. Unfortunately, none of our creatures have flying, so we can't actually chump block Murktide Regent, but playing out a decent amount of guys and then playing a Sling Gang Lieutenant or going for Snoop into Harbinger both seem like pretty good plans to me. Anti-Sovel. Play you out. Let's see. Go to combat. So we're definitely playing Snoop this turn. I don't know what else we're playing, though. I think I play Snoop out first, just to see if I hit any more goblins off the top of my deck. And they're not really going to counter any of these anyway. Alright, so let's play Mogg War Marshal. Okay, we get a goblin. Play Mogg Fanatic. Okay. So I think our #1 top deck here is a Cavern of Souls. And our opponent not having another Bolt or a Murktide to play to buff up their Murktide. Because both of those would just kill us here. But if we draw Cavern of Souls, we have 6 mana, we can go Mogg War Marshal, which they're not likely to counter. And then we can go Sling Gang, attack in for a bunch, and then sack some guys to stabilize. Alright, please no bolts. Looks like they have Bolt. Yep, okay. Unfortunate. What do I want to bring in against Murktide? Probably, maybe just Chalices? Chalice on 1 is really good against them. I want to keep the Mogg Fanatics. I think I can get rid of Skirk Prospector because I don't think my board's going to get that big reasonably. Mogg War Marshal is fine, since it blocks Monkey really well. But it's not good at blocking either of any of the flyers. So I think I cut down on War Marshal. Maybe keep 1 and then cut a Kiki Jiki, since that's kind of hard to utilize very well, unless it's very late game anyway. Or if we have some kind of protection like a Chalice. So I think I like it like that. There's an argument for Thought Seizes, but in that scenario I don't think I'd be bringing in Chalices. And I think using Chalices to protect myself from spot removal is better than using Thought Seizes to protect myself from counterspells in this matchup. Alright, let's see. We'll take the play. We just have the combo and an Ether Vial, so let's keep. We would like to draw a land, preferably one that says that our stuff can't be countered. Pick Goblin, play Vial. And we'd also kind of like to draw a Chalice of the Void right here so we can play it on turn 2. Because that would help quite a lot. Opponent plays Monkey. Okay. Something to deal with Monkey would be nice. Lots of cards would be good top decks here. Secluded Courtyard. Okay. So do we just go for the combo? I kind of feel like we just go for it, right? Because they're going to have interaction up either way. This way we can force them to start acting immediately. And then we can press them again with Goblin Ringleaders later. I think that's fine. If they somehow just don't have bolts, we can get them. Anti-Salval on top, okay. Yeah, on turn 4 and then also on turn 5 we can play Goblin Ringleaders, possibly on turn 5 playing it off of Aether Vial. I think that's a pretty good deal. So they could have spot removal, they could have a counterspell for Boggart Harbinger, or they could have Dress Down, and all those mess us up. They have spot removal, that's fine. They exile Anti-Salval, that's fine. Roll up Vial. What do we see? Pashlik Mons. That's actually kind of nice, because if they kill that, we get to kill Monkey. So yeah, let's play out Pashlik Mons. It's like a glorified Mog Fanatic here. Mog Fanatic with extra steps. Opponent bolts Pashlik Mons. Okay. Fuck you, Ragavan. Do they have another monkey? They do not play another monkey. What do we draw? Let's roll up Vial. I could put Boggart Harbinger into play in my upkeep, but I kind of want to draw a land here, but still not that land, god damn it. I think they have counter spells in their hand, so I don't really want to play the Ringleader out. I think I'd rather just pass and Vial both of these in. I think that's better, anyway. Because unlike what we saw last game, not all the Ringleaders hit 4. You're most likely to hit, especially after sideboarding 2 cards. Expressive Iteration, okay. DRC, okay. Plays DRC. They have Delirium. Plays another DRC. Okay. So no mana up. Interesting. Yes. Harbinger, what do we want to put on top? Yes, I'll use this ability, of course. So Snoop is definitely an option. We can just go for the Wombo combo. We could also go... We could go for a Munitions Expert to kill one of their DRCs. I kind of like getting Kiki Jiki here, I think. Because if I get Kiki Jiki on top, I have that in my hand. I can, because they tap down, I can cast a Ringleader and also Vial one in, and then I can go up to 5 to play Kiki Jiki. And then I can start getting even more copies of that. And that just sounds ridiculous. Yeah, I think I want to do that. This means that I don't have the traditional combo, but I do still have some wackiness that I can do. Alright. Let's play Ringleader. Let's play with Vile, because that makes more sense. In case I draw something that I actually want to play. Play Ringleader. Okay. Gets a Harbinger. Little underwhelming. Any order. Play another Ringleader. Okay. Gets a Harbinger and a War Marshal. Any order. Okay. Let's pass. So we definitely got some card advantage out of that, at least. Kiki-Jiki means we could possibly go even further with that. Rolling Vile up to 5 for Kiki-Jiki kind of sucks. Because we can't really do anything else with that. Opponent plays Spire Bluff Canal. Okay. I still want to draw land pretty bad. What does our opponent have here? Looks like a Murktide. Yep, Murktide. 3 cards in hand, 1 mana up. Yeah, let's go up to 5. We drew Mog Fanatic. Interesting. Play Harbinger. So now if they ever tap down, we can Violent Kiki-Jiki. So they have to keep mana up for that, essentially. That's interesting, at least. I would like to be able to copy Mog Fanatic to kill both of these DRCs, possibly. I also don't really trust that I'm going to stay alive too long to this Murktide Regent. If my opponent hadn't already used 2 Lightning Bolts, I'd be a bit more concerned about it, I think. Okay, what's going on? Subtlety. Okay. 1 card in our opponent's hand. They exiled a counterspell. I'll put that on the bottom. I don't really care about Harbinger. Let's put Mog Fanatic into play. Alright, I think we just gotta test and see if their last card is a bolt. If it is, that's kind of fine. And if they bolt Mog Fanatic, that's kind of fine too. Alright, go to combat. Because we need to kill both of these DRCs just in case they find a way to, They don't block at all? That's kind of weird. Just in case they find a way to give themselves Delirium, we need to have the ability to kill them, so I'm going to get 1 off the board now. And then the untapped Mog Fanatic can be sacked in case there's ever a chance of them having Delirium suddenly. And they didn't have a piece of removal, which is great news for us. Alright, kill you. Pass. I guess I should just go ahead and kill this now, shouldn't I? Although, in case they dash a Ragavan, I'd rather leave Mog Fanatic untapped, actually, in here. I don't know if why I'm saying untapped is if it's going to be still in play. So the trade-off is they might be able to surveil a bit more, but I'm not as threatened by them dashing Ragavan, since I can block sack. Expressive Iteration. Ugh, okay. Ledger Shredder to the graveyard. 3 creatures in their graveyard, that's kind of unlikely. It's good for us, at least. Opponent's at 8. They exile Counterspell. I mean, we just gotta go for killing the DRC here, right? They go for an instep dress down. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kill Mog Fanatic in DRC. We'll see what happens. They're still tapped down at least. We will not be putting a counter on Vial, even though the 5 is already a bit too much. Well, that makes it pretty easy. So they're tapped out. Let's put an instep stop on. We attack with everybody. They block Kiki Jiki. They take 6 down to 2. We kill them with Sling Gang. Okay. Easy enough. Attack with the boys. Kiki Jiki's ability does not matter to us. Okay. Technically, I would have got more damage out of it if I had waited until my instep and used Kiki Jiki to make another Sling Gang Lieutenant, but math is for nerds, and it's funnier to attack with a Kiki Jiki and just let it die. Alright, does our opponent scoop here? Hooray! Alright. They have engineered explosives, which makes Chalice less sexy. I still think that Chalice is right. I was kind of considering cutting it because I don't know. They have a lot of outs to it. It's not as big of a prison piece as it is against like Hammer. But I guess we'll get to test it out here. We're keeping. We have a Cavern, which is great. We have a Vial, which is great. We have Chalice, fantastic. We have Mog Fanatic to deal with a early DRC or Ragavan, and we have a Snoop. This seems like a great hand. Hopefully they don't Spell Pierce my Ether Vial, that'd make me a little sad. But if they have Spell Pierces for specifically that scenario, I guess they deserve it. Play Cavern on Goblin. Play Ether Vial. Say go. Hooray, no Spell Pierces in Game 3 against Goblins. They get a Steam Vents with their Polluted Delta. Makes sense. What do they play on turn 2? Is it nothing? It is nothing. So just holding up. Removal, it looks like. I'd rather try to play Chalice while they're tapped down, I think. We can just go ahead and play a Snoop and have them use some of their removal on it, since they can't counter it anyway, and we have 2 of them. And there's a Harbinger already on top, so if they just don't have any interaction, we get to kill them. Looks like a bolt. Yep, that's a bolt. Okie dokie. So we have the combo together. If we resolve a Chalice, which it looks like they might let us do here since they're going for an Expressive Iteration. On my turn, I can play a land, play Chalice on 1, play Mog Fanatic through it with Cavern of Souls, and then Violin Conspicuous Snoop during their end step. And they probably won't have removal since almost all their cards are 1-drops. At least the interactive ones are. Doesn't seem bad. I could have violed in Mog Fanatic there, actually. I don't know why I was doing it like that, but... Big Goblin again. Play Mog Fanatic out. Play Chalice on 1. They played Otawara out, and that's actually one of their ways that they could have gotten rid of Chalice, so that's good for us. If they spend their turn going Engineered Explosives on 0, pop it, we're still probably relatively safe from there. So let's pass, see what's going on. We're definitely going for Snoop no matter what here, because even if they answer the Snoop somehow, we could play Harbinger on our turn and then continue to do other stuff. They go for Expressive Iteration, so almost for sure we have the win here. They play Scalding Tarn, okie dokie. So what do we need to dodge? We need to dodge like an Abrade on Conspicuous Snoop. Or a Dress Down we would need to dodge. Yeah, we need to dodge Dress Down. Play Snoop out. Pashlik Mons on top. Okay, they don't Dress Down during their turn. We're going to tick Vial up to 3, and we're going to try to play this safe. Another Harbinger on top. That actually works great. So we can cast Harbinger, see if they respond with the Dress Down, and if they do, we can Violin the other Harbinger from earlier. And that's just kind of hilarious. That was really lucky, actually. That's probably the best top deck we could have had there. Alright, what you got, opponent? You have a Subtlety. I should have flashed in the Harbinger in response if I'm playing around Dress Down. That was dumb. Although they're putting the Harbinger back on top. So I think what I do is just continue to wait and go for that exact same scenario again. Because the ball's definitely in my court as far as, where I guess, how's that expression work? I guess the ball's in their court to answer me, since I'm the one with board presence and threatening a combo. But if I overextend, it could cause me to die. Alright, since they did that... Ah, fuck, Conspicuous Snoop is tapped. God damn it, I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? Okay. Alright. Why did I tap the Snoop? I'm so foolish. Opponent plays Ledger Shredder. Okay. Opponent plays Fury. Annoying, but okay. We're going to get to kill Shredder with that, because we're going to Violin Pashlik Mons. They have 2 cards in hand. They exiled Unholy Heat. Activate Aether Vial. Yes. Pashlik Mons. Cancel. Evoke trigger. Alright. Sack Mogfin. Ah, fuck. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go all face because they grew their Ledger Shredder, unfortunately. If they had discarded a land, I'd be able to kill that Shredder there. That's a little unfortunate. Definitely still the right play, but not as good as it could have been. They have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, let's go ahead and tick up Vial for Ringleader, since we know what we're going to draw anyway. We can play out Harbinger, or we could go straight for Ringleader. What is the sexy play here? They have one card in hand. Let's play out Harbinger first so we can kind of control what we're getting with Ringleader. I think that's a bit more fun. Yes. What do we want to get with Ringleader? I think I want Sling Gang Lieutenant more than anything. Because we're just trying to pressure our opponent's face at this point. Ledger Shredder is going to be a bit annoying, but we'll be able to deal with that eventually. And we have another Harbinger to where we can take another look-see at what's going on. But the Pashlikmon's Sling Gang Wombo combo, I think, is what's going to help me the most here. Alright, our opponent bolts us for some semi-undiscernible reason. They might have a Murktide to play here is what that means. Alright, opponent concedes. Sweet. And I'll see you in the next one. Round 3 with Goblins. We won the die roll again. We've been very lucky with that so far, and we have a pretty good hand, so let's keep. We can start off with Courtyard Vial, and then either go for Expert or Snoop plus a Mog Fanatic on turn 2. Seems pretty good. Courtyard, name Goblin. And pass. Opponent plays Inspiring Vantage. Looks like this is going to be Burn. They go for Goblin Guide. No fair, I'm the Goblin. And they attack. Do they give us a land? They do not. We have a Goblin Ringleader on top. I'd like to draw a land soonish. And I think I'm going to go for Munitions Expert and Mog Fanatic both on my turn to make sure that I kill the Goblin Guide here. Because otherwise they could bolt one of my guys in response. Yes. Mog Fanatic. Awful. Show you my Expert. Show you my Expert again. Bet you didn't see that coming. Yes. Okay. Alright. Let's see what our opponent does on turn 2. We'd like to draw a third land and or a way to combo off with Snoop. Probably planning on casting Munitions Expert and vialing in Conspicuous Snoop during this next turn. Roll up Vial, we get Skirk Prospector, which is okay. I mean, they would automatically know something's up if we cast the Munitions Expert and then don't do anything and vial in Snoop, but I think that might just be what we have to do. They don't have an incredible clock on us, so that's kind of fine. We take 2 here down to 16. Okay. Pop you. Yes. Okay. Attack, attack. And hopefully they'll just tap down and give us an opportunity to start getting some Snoop value. Opponent taps a land, plays a Goblin Guide. Okay. Goes to combat. Attacks. What do we got on top? Courtyard. Fantastic. We will take 2 down to 14. I feel like our opponent is planning on using a Boros Charm on us here. Maybe a Searing Blaze. But maybe they're just going to tap out also. Alright, so they suspend a Rift Bolt. I'm going to be rolling up this Ether Vial anyway, so I think I just want to get this Snoop into play. Because they have so much removal, I'm not very hopeful that I'm going to be able to combo off with Snoop in particular. But it's nice to at least get into play. Even though we're not actually casting any Goblins off the top of our deck with it. Let's play Skirk Prospector. So because of Prospector, we actually do have a decent amount of mana, and I could play Ringleader here. Maybe that's a good play. Because then Ringleader can get me a 3-drop, and then I could possibly go off with Snoop. That way I'm at least doing something. Yeah, let's do that. Red, red. Sack a Goblin. Do I sack Skirk Prospector to itself? Probably here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yes. So I've upgraded my Munitions Expert. Let's see if we get anything good off the top. We do. We found the Harbinger, so now we can force our opponent to actually have a piece of removal for us. Okay. Yes. Kiki GK on top, and do you have removal, opponent? Sweet. Looks like they don't. Most likely, at least. They could always just wait and bolt the Harbinger when we go for that, but that would be a douche move, so surely they wouldn't do that, right? Opponent's at 18, so we don't actually need that many copies. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I just want to make sure that I have enough that in case they somehow gain life or something. Alright, so after this we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright. Copy Harbinger. Do you have the removal spell? They do have the removal spell. Damn. Alright. Well, that's fine. Go to combat. Attack with everybody. Pass. Yeah. Some Snoop triggers resolve. I assume they're gonna Rift Bolt the conspicuous Snoop here. They might just go face. We're still threatening them with just sort of a beatdown game plan. Yep, they go face. We're at 11, we're at effectively 9 because of Goblin Guide. If they have triple bolt, we're dead. That's one bolt. They played a land. We showed them Kiki Jiki on top of our deck. Shocker. We go to 6. And untap. Okay. Trigger's going to go on the stack. We're going to make a bunch of Snoops. Again. Because now we can just try again with Goblin Matron if we want to. Or alternatively, we can go Goblin Matron and get Pashlik Mons, and then it doesn't matter if they... Well, they could still just spot remove the Pashlik Mons, I guess. That's a little annoying. Actually, no, we can go Ether Vial up to 4, get Slinging Lieutenant with Goblin Matron, and then do that. Yeah, I think that's a fine game plan. Kind of wish we still had the Skirk Prospector so I can make infinite mana here, but that's okay. Alright, we have plenty of copies. Okay. Yes. Okay. Play Matron. Okay. Yes. Show you my Slinging Lieutenant. Activate Vial. Can you deal 6 damage to me? Or wipe my board entirely? That is the question. They draw a card. Okay. And... Hooray! Alright, so this is another Chalice of the Void matchup for us. Because they have lots and lots of 1-drops. Let's cut all the Mog Fanatics because all their stuff is X2s. And probably also Skirk Prospector. Just because we're bringing in all the Chalices to go on 1. And all of our other stuff is kind of fine. Yeah, let's just do it like that. I think that's fine. Skirk Prospector is a little weird. There's a lot of like one of very specific cards for when you search them in this deck, which is very fun, but also makes the sideboarding a little complicated. You just have to identify what's actually important and a likely direction for you to go in each matchup. And I don't think trying to get a shit ton of mana is the right plan, since we probably aren't going to have a lot of time here. We have a ton of combo pieces, but we don't have any acceleration or more than 1 land, so let's mulligan. Alright, this is kind of sweet. Let's get rid of one of our chalices, since we only want it to go on 1. Opponent plays a Goblin Guide. We don't have an answer for that yet. We have a Munitions Expert for the future when we drew a Snoop. Let's play Auntie's Hovel, show them the Snoop that they already know about. Pass. Wish we had a Vial here, that'd make this hand significantly better. When and if ever Wizards makes another copy of Ether Vial, that would be insane. I doubt that they would do that because of how dominant it's been, even without them buffing the tribal decks beyond 4 copies of Ether Vial. But if they got to 6 to where your average opening hand just has it, that would just be kind of insane. Alright, they played Eidolon. We're going to take 2 playing this Chalice. So we're at 14. But now all of their 1-drops don't do anything. And both of their lands are pain lands, so that's kind of nice for us too. Munitions Expert doesn't kill anything yet. I'd like to draw land so we can play Slinging Lieutenant. We're going to draw an Ether Vial here, that kind of sucks. So I don't want to play Harbinger because I want to draw land. Let's play Snoop. Okay. We might just be dead here to regular damage, we will see. That would be sad. Snoop on top, don't really need that. That means we're not going to get a land for Sling Gang. Maybe if we're lucky, they don't have any 2-drop removal for Snoop. Although that's kind of unlikely. They have a Smash to Smithereens. It's a little weird. I guess it makes sense that they would bring it in since we're an Ether Vial deck, but still. We're probably just dead now, unfortunately. Because our opponent can bolt us. Really wish we had a land on top, so Sling Gang stabilizing us was at least an option. Yep, Goblin Guide. Okay. Unfortunately, we got to trade for the Eidolon here. I really like trying to trick burn opponents into dying to their own Eidolons, but we can't spare the life, unfortunately. And I assume they just have a bolt here, right? Or Boris Charm? Yeah, okay. Concede. I'm still happy with how I sideboarded, I think. Chalices are good, even though they have the Smash to Smithereens. Maybe there's an argument for Magus of the Moon, because Blood Moon effects are surprisingly good against burn. But I still don't think that Mog Fanatics are where I want to be. Maybe there's an argument for bringing in Tarfire, because then I can use Goblin Matron and Harbinger to search for an answer for their creatures. But I can already search for Munitions Expert, so I don't think that matters really. And it also gets turned off by the Chalice of the Void. Alright, we have Chalice, Vial, Matron. I think this is fine. Let's keep it. Chalice is going to be better here since we are on the play. Okay. I'm going to take this upkeep stop off and my end step stop off, for now at least. Let's go Auntie's Hovel, show Matron, play Ether Vial. Pass the turn. So this second Ether Vial is definitely just going to rot in my hand here unless they blow up the Chalice. What you got, opponent? Goblin Guide. Okay. No turn 1 Monastery Swiftspears from this burn player, I don't think, that I've seen. Conspicuous Snoop on top. Okay. That means I have the combo since Matron can get Harbinger. Okay. Yes. Let's play Bloodstained Mire. Get a basic mountain. Play Chalice on 1. See what our opponent does on their turn. They might just go for Eidolon, attack for 2. They could have a Smash already and smash either Vial or Chalice. Either of those would be kind of annoying. We will see. Let's see if we get a land off of this, because I'd like to keep the Sokentan in hand, if possible. We do not. There's a Ringleader on top. We might get around to using that in this matchup. It's a bit late in the game, but maybe the Chalice on 1 will let us stall them out for long enough that it matters. So it looks like this next turn we're going to play Sokentan as our land, play Goblin Matron, get Harbinger, and then hold Snoop in hand. Opponent shocks. Plays Sanctifier Invec. Interesting. Has protection from black and red, so we can't remove it. And it does stuff to the graveyard. We don't really care about our graveyard other than dies triggers. So that's kind of fine. It's I mean, it'll be able to get us eventually. The Sokenzan, unfortunately, is going to get played here. That would have actually been a decent answer to Sanctifier and Vec. But hopefully that creature just won't matter. Okay. Yes. We draw a Ringleader. Play Sokenzan. Play Goblin Matron. Maybe I should have played... God, I should have played Snoop first, just in case. Well, maybe not. Maybe I needed to wait for them to tap out. I don't know. But if I went and Snoop, revealed a Matron off the top, and then played that, that would be really cool. Let's go ahead and get Harbinger. This kind of signals to them that we already have the Snoop. But I think that's fine. Let's see what they do on their turn. I would love if they either tapped out or mostly tapped out so that I know that Snoop is safe. I think I'd probably play Snoop regardless, though. But we'll see. I think one of the most interesting parts about this deck is how many possible lines and play styles that you can have throughout a game. Like you can be going for the fast combo win condition. Oh, that'll do it, apparently. Hopefully that means... Okay, cool. I think that means that our opponent doesn't have anything for us. GG's to you too. Goblin Matron off the top. Okay. Jump block. I assume it doesn't matter. Yeah, the Chalice got him, apparently. Alright, if you have a Lightning Helix, I'm going to be sad, opponent. Because you could just be playing with me. Snoop. Okay. It looks like they do not have the removal for Snoop. So hooray for us. Put Kiki Jiki on top. With good old Harbinger. Hooray! Alright. We're doing good so far. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, welcome to round 4 with Goblins. We have 5 lands, just a Mog Fanatic and a Slingang Lieutenant, so let's mulligan this one. I don't want to go to 5. Ringleader and Matron give us some card advantage at least. Let's get rid of one of the Blood Crypts, because we're just going to get that with Bloodstained Mire anyway. I'd love to draw a Vial. Looks like we're against Burn again. So this is probably too slow of a hand to deal with Burn, unfortunately. Let's just go Courtyard, Mog Fanatic. Go ahead and get it into play before they play an Eidolon, in case that's going to happen. Unless they're playing the build of Burn with DRCs, we're probably not going to be able to kill any of their creatures here. With just the Fanatic, we get another land, which is kind of nice at least. We don't need the lands, but at least it's getting them off the top of our deck, hopefully. Draw another Ringleader, that's kind of annoying. Let's play Bloodstained Mire. Attack for 1 with the Fanatic. We can use the Bloodstained Mire as a pseudo-scry, in case there's another high mana cost card that we don't want on top of our deck. Boros Charm, we go down to 12, we're at effectively 10 because of the Goblin Guide. So we're not dead here, but we might be dead soon. Pashlik Mons on top. Pashlik Mons is actually not that bad of a draw, because that at least kills the Goblin Guide. But we're probably just dead anyway, unfortunately. So we're going to be at 9. They have a Rift Bolt. We get a Mountain. Play Auntie's Hovel, revealing Pashlik Mons. We play Pashlik Mons. Maybe if they're flooding out really hard, we could have a chance. Or if rather than burn spells, they have creatures. But they would have played a creature out already if they had it, I think. Unless it's like an Eidolon, maybe. Searing Blaze on Mog Fanatic. Lame. Alright, deal 1 damage to you, I guess. We're going to be taking 3 from the Searing Blaze down to 6. We're at effectively 3 because of the Rift Bolt. And if they have any of their burn spells, we're dead. So I can't imagine that we get out of this one, unfortunately. Yep, okay. Way too slow of a hand for burn, but we know what to do. Bring in the chalices, cut these boys, run it like so. I think there's definitely an argument for me to go down to 5 with that hand. Maybe since they didn't reveal a Yorion, I should have assumed that they were a faster deck. And tried to mulligan for something that wins faster. Because you don't actually need that many cards to just have like Snoop, Harbinger, and the lands to play them. But we had some decent card advantage, so I think overall that hand was still fine. We will play first. We have almost a fantastic hand. If we draw land for this chalice, I'll be very happy. I think I want to be greedy, so we'll keep. Because we get to go Vial on 1. And that already means that we can unlock most of these, at least over the course of the game. Let's show them Mog War Marshal. Play out Vial. And pass. And if we draw land here, we get to play Chalice on 1 on our second turn. And that should, for the most part, lock out their spells. And put us in a fantastic spot. Right. We found the land. Den of the Bugbear. Thank you, Goblin Guide. Okay. Yes. Secluded Courtyard. Let's play Bugbear. Play out our Chalice. Okie dokie. You have removal for a Chalice on 1. Or are you loaded up with 2 drops, perhaps? When it attacks, we get a Sokenzan. We take 2 down to 16. They play Fiery Islet. Double Pain Land. Love to see it. And what you got? Eidolon. Okay. Okay. Yes. We draw Bloodstained Mire. Let's play out Courtyard on Goblin. I think we're fine with taking the 2 to Eidolon that turns on our Munitions Expert here. So let's do that. We're going to get another Munitions Expert with it anyway, I think, because I think we're just trying to play the long game and stabilize. Actually, do we want a second Munitions Expert? I think I only want to kill their Goblin Guide. Huh. Yeah, I'm probably gonna... Yeah, I'm probably gonna want the second one. Eventually I'm gonna want to kill this Eidolon. For now, I'm happy to have my opponent just deal damage to themselves, though. Yes. And probably chump block Eidolon a little bit. Although here I think I just take it, because I'd rather chump block with the Mogwar Marshal if I have the option. Opponent skewers. Suspends a Rift Bolt. Okay. Let's leave Vial on 2. We get Pashlik Mons punished. Play out Sokensan. Play out Ringleader. Okay. Kiki-Jiki and Goblin Matron into our hand. Interesting. Attack with the boys. Put our opponent to 9. Their Rift Bolt deals 2 damage to them. And 3 damage to either us or one of our creatures. I assume it's going to be us. I want to try to keep their Eidolon alive because I think I can lock them out of the game by just chump blocking with 1 mana stuff on them. I could sort of... I don't know. Yeah, they bolt us. They take 2 damage. That's fine. If they play a hasty creature, I will Munitions Expert, kill that creature, chump block Eidolon. If not, I'm going to play out Mogwar Marshal, block with the Mogwar Marshal so it dies and I get another token. And then I can kill my opponent on the backswing. Wooded Foothills, okay. Man, our opponent just cannot play anything. All of their mana is damaged to them right now. Yes. Play out War Marshal. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Vial's going up because I'm putting Pashlik Mons into play. And then with the Echo on the stack is when I put Pashlik Mons in so I get the extra damage. And then I don't have to pay for the Echo. No. Ping you. Make a boy. Play Anti-Sovel. Showing Kiki-Jiki. Do I play Kiki-Jiki or do I animate Den of the Bugbear, or does it matter at all? I don't think it matters at all because they're at 6 and they're effectively at far less than that. Let's go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. Okay. Hooray! Alright. Let's run it back. Hopefully we don't get completely destroyed by them having the tempo advantage again. But we'll see. If we get a Chalice on 2, that'd be fantastic. But just having a reasonable hand would be fine too. Although this does have the Chalice. So we play nothing on turn 1, most likely, unless we draw something. Chalice on our turn 2. Then we have Goblin Matron for turn 3, and then either Sling Gang or Ringleader for the next turn. I think the Chalice is a good enough reason to keep this hand, so let's keep it. Again, I would much prefer it if I had a Vial, because that would speed this up significantly. We play Goblin Guide. Makes sense. They have 4 cards in hand, so they mulligan down to 6. I assume on their turn 2, they're going to try to dump 1 drops out of their hand to get around Chalice. We get a secluded courtyard. Let's play courtyard on Goblin. Pass the turn. Alright, so what we do on our turn will be informed by what our opponent does on their turn. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of these lands, though. Kiki-Jiki on top. That is not where we wanted the Kiki-Jiki, unfortunately. Opponent Lava Spikes us. They kept a 1-lander. Oh my god, they kept a 1-lander. Oh my god, they kept a 1-lander. Alright, please don't have an answer for the Chalice, because this is hilarious. Let me have it. Alright, they can cast the Rift Bolt through it. That's fine. We draw Ether Vial on the perfectly wrong turn. That kind of sucks. So we want to draw a land. Let's play out Mog War Marshal. Because that way we're at least chump blocking Goblin Guide, maybe trading for it. And once we get a Sling Gang Lieutenant into play, I think we've stabilized because of the life gain. We go down to 8. Did our opponent draw a land? Does not look like it. Goblin Guide triggers, gives us a land. I will block. Is your Goblin Guide dead? Yes, fantastic. We get a boy. They have 5 cards in hand and 1 land. Let's Shotgun Blood Crypt, get this Sling Gang down. Because now we can gain life, at least to some degree. And unless they kill Sling Gang Lieutenant pretty soon, we should be able to capitalize on that pretty well. If we draw land, we can actually Kiki-Jiki, copying Sling Gang Lieutenant, and that's just kind of fucking hilarious. But it goes down to 19. First hit has been achieved for us. Man, our opponent really didn't want to play more of those pain lands. Oh, they found one. Okay. Opponent has the second land. A little bit sad for us. Searing Blaze. Aw. Alright, let's drain you some, I guess. We're going to be taking 3 from the Searing Blaze. I think I'm just going to go ahead and sack all these goblins so that I gain a bunch of life. Because our life total matters a lot. A lot more than having tokens in play, I think. Since we're going to reestablish a board relatively quickly. Alright, we're at 7. Play Bloodstained Mire. Play Ringleader. Well, do I play Ringleader or do I just go for Matron on? Let's go for Matron and just get the other Sling Gang Lieutenant, actually. That's actually just safer, I think. Yes. Sling Gang Lieutenant. Okay. Does our opponent draw another land? If they draw another land, we might actually be in trouble because then they could go Boros Charm. They found the 3rd land. So they could possibly go Boros Charm into Skewer, but they didn't play the Skewer. Let's just pass. Conspicuous Snoop. Play out Sling Gang. Make them have an answer for it again. They don't have the answer right now. Fantastic. Who'd have thunk? Goblins playing a game like this. Pretty interesting. Sling Gang Lieutenant is like a much smaller version of Thragtusk in this matchup, giving me tokens and life gain. Although much less efficiently than an actual Thragtusk would be against a burn deck right now. But hey, we can search for it with our Goblin searches. What do you know? Alright, attack for 1. And if they ever go to kill our stuff, we can sacrifice it to gain life again. So that's great. They Boros Charm us. Okay. I don't like that. We're at 3. Our opponent sacks Sunbaked Canyon to draw a card. I think we're safe to fetch with this Bloodstained Mire. Get a mountain. Untap. Okay, cool. Whew. Alright, that was a stressful one, but we're doing really well so far. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, final round with Goblins. Our opponent is on the play, and we have the combo in our hand, so I say we just keep this. We'd like to draw either a Vial or a third land at least, so we can actually cast everything. We found the third land. Fantastic. We don't have anything to play on turn 1. Our opponent played a Stomping Ground, which is a little weird. You don't see Stomping Ground that often as the turn 1 play, I feel like. In 2022 Modern. Play a second one. Okay. Soccer Tribelter. Okay, so we're against Titanshift. Should be relatively straightforward. Racing each other at least. Let's get Blood Crypt tapped. I think I just go straight for Conspicuous Snoop and hope that they don't have removal for me. Because they don't really have good card selection. They could definitely just have a Bolt, but they don't have that much removal in their deck. So I guess let's see. Because Wrenn and 6 does not kill Conspicuous Snoop, which is very, very nice for our deck. Goblins would be way worse if Conspicuous Snoop was a 2-1. Alright, what you got, opponent? Please don't have a Bolt. I will be sad. They play Dwarven Mine, get a boy. They play Wish. Looks like they're gonna Flame Slash here, probably. Yup. Or they just bolt off of the Wish. That's fine. Let's play Courtyard on Goblin. Play Goblin Chieftain. Attack for 2. Our opponent has 4 lands in play going into their turn 4. So not that crazy. They cycle Sheltered Thicket. They play Wrenn and 6. Oh, we're going to kill the shit out of that. So they're going to be able to have a second blocker with another dwarf, most likely. We drew Skirk Prospector, which is kind of interesting. What can we do here? We can use Skirk Prospector plus Mog War Marshal as sort of a ritual. Play Prospector. Play War Marshal. Make a boy. Play Blood Crypt. Yes. Let's go for Sling Gang Lieutenant. Black. Sack you. Oh, I have to do it like this. Hold on. I can't be paying it as a cost if I want the trigger to resolve. What the fuck? Why did that not give me a token? Why is that not giving me a token? I should be getting a dice trigger, right? What's happening? It's not giving me another token. That's bizarre. I guess let's go to combat. I feel like they might just be able to escape shift me now. Let's go. I guess Ren and 6 doesn't matter as much. We should just race my opponent. Yeah, let's just do it like that. They can get another dwarf token. If they have escape shift already, we can be in trouble. They're killing Chieftain, that's kind of fine. Sack a Goblin. Does it work now? God, that's fucking annoying. Still doesn't work. So I can play Sling Gang Lieutenant, but it costs my entire board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they play land for turn, which we know they have, they can escape shift to deal 18 damage. Not 18 damage. Because they need 7 and then 8. Okay. So I don't actually need to worry about it right here, necessarily. Yeah, let's just pass. That is very annoying. Very, very annoying. Because I definitely should have been able to play Sling Gang Lieutenant that turn. I don't know why the dice trigger wasn't working. There might be something that I'm not seeing, but I don't think there is. Prime time. Okay. That doesn't kill us immediately, but it kills us soon. They kill one of our guys. Okie dokie. We will not pay for Echo. What's happening? Okay, Mog War Marshal apparently just doesn't work anymore suddenly. Which is incredibly annoying. So I can go Cavern of Souls, I can drain my opponent for 3 with Sling Gang, and I guess I'm dead. War Marshal was working earlier. That's really bizarre. I guess I'm cutting all those. Necromantia seems good. Let's bring those in. Is Thoughtseize correct? Probably not. Because this isn't that kind of combo deck. They can play off of their top decks really well. Munitions Expert seems really mid. Although I like that it can kill Ren and 6 and the Dryad relatively well. Let's just cut 3 Mog Fanatics, I think, because there aren't really any X1s that we're trying to kill. Oh, we already cut the War Marshals. Yeah. Let's just run it like that then. That's fine. That's really annoying. The War Marshal stopped working. So I guess check that if you're planning on buying this deck. Because that card might not work still. Let's see. It's way worse when it isn't a 3-for-1. And it's just a glorified dragon fodder. Alright, we have Ether Vial, some stuff to do. 2 conspicuous snoops in case they have removal, so let's keep. I do still think that we had a pretty good run that game 1. I should have played the other land, possibly. This is a bit of awkward mana for conspicuous snoop, but I debatably should have gone fetch shock there or just fetch for a basic mountain so that if I drew another red source I could play snoop on turn 2. That was probably the correct thing to do. I was just sort of thinking about life total there for whatever reason. Opponent suspended search for tomorrow on their turn. We draw Necromentia. So we would like to draw a land very badly. Because Necromentia on Valakut is not completely game-winning for us, but very good. Because then they have to wish for the other Valakut. Run in 6, that's annoying. Run in 6 up to 4. Yes. Put Mog Fanatic into play. I definitely want to draw a land here, so I'm not going to pump the Bloodstained Mire. File goes up to 2. Skirk Prospector on top. Or Skirk Prospector, rather. So I can cast the Prospector. I could get enough mana to play Pashlik Mons, but then I don't have anything to sacrifice for it anymore. And that's kind of stinky. Let's go to combat. Attack. Run in 6, I guess. I guess I might as well just play the Prospector out. Let's get Blood Crypt so we can play Necromentia in case we do draw a land for it. Play out Prospector, pass. And we'll be rolling Vial up to 3. So if we draw Harbinger... let's get mana, I guess. So if we draw Harbinger, we can just go for the win with Conspicuous Snoop. Because like I said before, they don't have that much spot removal despite being a red deck. At least in the main deck. Sideboard, they could have sided in more, but since they're playing the Wish package, they probably don't have that meaningful of a sideboard to actually bring in. I would love to go 5-0 with this deck, but I don't think that it's shaken out that way very well for me right now. They play Wish. Okay. What are you getting with Wish? Pithing Needle. Let's Violin Snoop now. They're probably just going to name Snoop with Needle. But them not naming Vial with Needle is a bit more important, I think. We're going to draw a land. That's good at least. They name Ether Vial. Okay. So if we have... Let's roll a Vial anyway. So if we have exactly Harbinger under the secluded courtyard, which we don't, we could have won. Let's go secluded courtyard, naming Goblin. So the options are Pashlik Mons, kill Ren in 6, or Necromentia, get rid of your Valakuts. I think I just want to go straight for the Necromentia. Since they already used a Wish. Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. Yep. 1 in hand, and another Ren and 6 in hand. So it's definitely right to go with Valakut here. What did they side in? It doesn't look like they sideboarded very impactfully. They have one lightning bolt in their deck, which is kind of hilarious. And they have 3 wishes that can all get Valakut, and they have 1 Wrenn and 6 in their hand and 1 left in their deck somewhere. Okay, and they have a bunch of lands, of course. So they get a zombie. We will pass. If they downtick Wrenn and 6, we can just sack Mog Fanatic. Okay, they downtick on Snoop. That's fine. So it looks like they're going to play their other Wrenn and 6 from hand. Yep. They kill Snoop. Okie dokie. Play a land. They attack for 2. We will take it down to 15. We're going to plan on playing Pashlek Mons here so we can kill their Wrenn and 6. Monty's Hovel. Play that. Play Pashlek Mons. Tap, tap. Tap. Alright, does this dice trigger work? Okay, thank God. Kill Wrenn and 6. Alright, so we should both not have anything going on for a second. At least if we're lucky, they won't have something going on for a second. And then we can play this Conspicuous Snoop on our next turn and maybe cobble something together from there. They play Search for tomorrow. Okay. That gets them closer to playing a prime time if they draw 1. File. Okay. No. I mean, that's the combo. Let's play out Snoop. Munitions Expert. Let's just pass. We're going to be playing that Munitions Expert this turn on their zombie token, most likely. Possibly on a Wrenn and 6. They cast Wish, so that's a Valakut, most likely. Yep, they find their other Valakut. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They could have 1 Valakut trigger here. Let's flash in Munitions Expert from the top of our deck. There's another Conspicuous Snoop on top. That's kind of good news. Killed the zombie. Says 5 other, right? Yes. Alright, so it looks like they're going to go for killing the Snoop now, maybe. They could also go for killing Pashlek Mons now, possibly. They get a Dwarven Mine, gives them a token. They get a Stomping Ground tapped to get a trigger. Valakut trigger goes down on... what? They hit Snoop with it, even though we have a Snoop on top, which feels a little weird. Let's go ahead and kill this other dwarf. Just try to get their board cleared up a little bit, because we might be going for damage the old-fashioned way here. Okay. No. We draw Snoop. I guess let's just play it out again. Secluded Courtyard on top. Attack, attack. But it trades with Munitions Expert. Takes 1 off the Pashlek Mons trigger. Okay. I assume our opponent's going to be able to kill this Snoop again. Yep. And they get another dwarf, which is a little annoying. Oh, they kill Pashlek Mons. Interesting. Does that mean they drew the lightning bolt or have more ways to get those triggers? Let's kill the dwarf. Keep their board under wraps. Make it look like we're mostly on the beatdown plan. All right. They didn't have anything at sorcery speed to play. We saw that they only have 1 lightning bolt in their deck. They have 2 cards in their hand. What are the chances that they drew the lightning bolt? Hopefully not that high. They stop in our draw step, which is a little sussy. Please don't have the lightning bolt. Besage you. I mean... okay. They don't want us to have the Goblin Matron. I guess that makes sense. We'll get a mountain. Play Courtyard. Bet you can't guess what I'm naming. Please don't have a Lightning Bolt. Yes. Kiki Jiki. Target itself. Alright, it looks like they probably don't have the removal here. They could be waiting to bolt the Harbinger. But I don't imagine that they have it at this point. Alright, we got one of the games at least. Okay. They did not see our Maguses. That could be pretty useful. I don't think I really want to change anything else about how I sideboarded. Maybe I want Trash Master for Pithing Needle, actually. That is kind of better than Mog Fanatic, at least. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. We have Snoop, Sling Gang Lieutenant, 3 lands, 2 Munitions Experts. That's not that bad. I think I will keep this. We're part of the way to having the combo already. We have some interaction, and we have a Sling Gang if the game gets weird. Our opponent kept 7, though, so that's kind of spooky. They suspend Search for Tomorrow. We draw Pashlik Mons. Let's play tapped Auntie's Hovel, pass the turn. No Vial for us. Very sad. Opponent. Looks like a Wrenn and 6. Nope, it's an Explorer. Okay. Play Secluded Courtyard. Name Goblin. Gotta go for the Snoop. We saw that they barely have any removal. Also, they didn't hit a land off that Explorer, which is really good news for us. Because if the Titanshift deck is choking on lands, that is just great. I need to stop on my upkeep. Because we have a Kiki Jiki on top of our deck. Which could mean that we just win the game here. Because this is in... Ah, fuck. Alright. They had a bolt. That's sad. So if they didn't have the bolt there, what we could have done is, during our upkeep, Kiki Jiki's still on top of our deck, Conspicuous Snoop, make however many copies of Conspicuous Snoop, play Pashlik Mons, pass the turn, all the copies sacrifice, we get dice triggers for all of them and point them at our opponent, is how that would have gone in the ideal scenario. Let's just go Swamp, Pashlik Mons. So now it looks like the game plan is Pashlik Mons into Sling Gang Lieutenant and do the Aristocrats thing. Our opponent has completely recovered on them choking from lands, by the way. We draw a Secluded Courtyard. Let's play a mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 cards in our opponent's hand. Which is a little stinky. And they can get dwarf tokens. So I don't want to attack with Pashlik Mons necessarily. At least until I already have Sling Gang in play. So it really just depends on what they have in their hand, if they are able to just kill me outright. But I can drain them a little bit at least. And we can go to combat now. Attack for 2. See how and if they block. They do block, makes sense. Let's target you, sack you, ping you. Okay. Opponent's at 13. What you got, opponent? Prime time. Ah, that's annoying. Let's see what they kill with it. They can get Valakut and 2 triggers. They get 2 Valakuts, so their Scalding Tarn can trigger it. Okay, that makes sense. Is there a way that I can play around this? So I play Kiki Jiki. They can just kill Slingang and Pashlik Mons. I could go for Munitions Expert on Prime Time, and then another one on Prime Time, and sort of force the issue at least. I think that seems nice. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Play Munitions Expert. Opponent fetches. How are they going to target? I assume both of these boys. Yep. So we're going to go second Munitions Expert. They have 1 card in hand. This one is going to hit you. Yes. Puts opponent down to 4. Puts prime damage on 4, rather, not opponent down to 4. What am I talking about? They get a dwarf. The one on Slingang Lieutenant attempts to go off. How do I maximize the damage here? This Munitions Expert can hit this prime time for 3. And I can use both of these triggers to hit my opponent and both of their dwarves. Yeah, that's the right way to do it. Okay, Slingang Lieutenant. I'm not going to get both the triggers if I sacrifice them to Slingang, unfortunately. I can sacrifice Slingang to itself. Target you. Sack Slingang. Yes. Target you. Okay. 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 Bolt. Target you. Okay. Okay. Munitions Expert, target you. Our opponent has 1 card in hand. And we have... Ah, fuck, I didn't attack. Click through it by accident. Alright. And we have a board, technically, even though it's a bunch of 1/1s. And they found Escape Shift. That's a little unfortunate, especially since they have all these cards in hand, all these lands in play. So I think that just means we're dead, probably. I assume it means that, at least. I don't think there's a way that we could have played around them having Escape Shift there. Technically, I could have hit them for 1 more down to 10. I guess I'm happy that that didn't matter. Yeah, that's a lot of Valakut triggers. Alright. GG's to our opponent. Maybe once upon a time, that match somehow would have gone a different direction if my Mogwar Marshal worked right in game 1. But either way, that was very enjoyable. Goblins has been a lot of fun to pilot. The different lines that you can take and all the activated abilities and stuff make it really interesting each game. I definitely recommend trying it out. It gets a little expensive, especially in the sideboard. Chalice of the Voids, Leyline of the Voids, Maguses are all kind of expensive on Moto. The main deck's not too bad. Ether Vials are a little bit, and Caverns are a little bit, and Den of the Bugbear has gone down significantly, so that's nice at least. It's still pretty expensive on Moto though. But yeah, I definitely recommend trying it out if you like tribal decks, or if you like combo decks that can pivot into a either prison-y or just more interactive game plan. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future, and I'll see you then.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.